Hi everybody, welcome back to Fawn of the Forest. This is the tarot channel where we answer the pressing questions in your life. And today's spread is going to be, why did they ghost you? Now, if you have been ghosted, I am very sorry. I just want to say that I don't think ghosting is about the person who got ghosted. It's more about the person doing the ghosting. But unfortunately, it can leave a lot of people wondering and with unanswered questions because something was just cut off, and that's not cool. So I hope to help everybody with today's reading, anybody who needs it. I'm just going to put down 3 piles. These aren't going to be the piles that I actually pick from. It's just more to represent, because this is a pick a card reading, so pile 1, 2, or 3. Or I am going to spin the wheel, and you can screenshot and pick whatever card pile comes up for you when I spin the wheel. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So the question for you, for everyone watching this video today, is why did they ghost? Why did I get ghosted? Excuse me. And I'm sure that y'all want some answers, and I'm going to try to provide a little bit of clarity for people. You guys deserve clarity. And just remember, you guys deserve to be treated better than someone who would ghost you. So I just put that out there too. If they ghosted you, they suck. So you don't want anything to do with them, do you? All right, I'm going to start with here. All right, let's start here, and then we're going to just proceed as per usual. Let's see what the cards. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. All right, guys. Well, this is really interesting already. Pile number 1. So we start in your situation is the 8 of Pentacles, and this is you working very hard at something. Definitely, I get that you're working hard on something. I think that you are in a place where you're trying to show up and be present and mature in a relationship of some kind. Unfortunately, that does not always mean that the other person or people are doing the same thing. We have the Moon card over here, which is like deceit, deception, not seeing things clearly. It also brings up the juxtaposition or the contrast, you could say, between like wild and tame. And then the crawfish down here, that always speaks to me about, you know how when like people shed skins, well, not people, but you know, like crawfish or like crabs, or they shed their exoskeleton and they're a little bit tender underneath. I think that this is a really interesting card for you because I think that you are growing, you're putting in the hard work to grow, but you know, you're still tender and you're still figuring things out. This card could also speak to the person who ghosted you as being like, they're not maybe on the up and up. Well, if they ghosted you, they're definitely not on the up and up in the way that you probably want or need for something that you're looking for in terms of a relationship. So that's pretty apropos. The Emperor is reversed, which is like domination, control. It's like all the positive masculinity turned toxic, basically. Which is, yeah, I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself. Not to say that the person who goes to you had to be like a male or anything like that, but more just like someone has issues with control, and maybe they feel like ghosting is the only way for them to maintain or not lose control, but it ends up coming off like they're an a-hole. So that's unfortunate for them. And then the High Priestess is reversed. I think of that as also like a you card, where it's like the High Priestess represents like intuition, knowing, trusting yourself. I think that maybe on some level, though some of you listening to this will be like, I knew that there was something off about this person or this dynamic a while ago, but maybe you didn't listen to your intuition. It's a big thing to learn how to trust your gut. Certainly something that I've had to learn to do many times over the course of my life, and I probably will have to keep learning, but I'm learning to trust it more. And I think that you're learning as well. This is all a part of your work that you're doing to become ready for the type of relationship that you're wanting. So let's pull a few more cards. Okay, 8 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Oh, okay. Ooh, 10 of Swords and Queen of Wands. Okay, I actually see these as really good cards for you. The 8 of Cups is about walking away from something. And I really see that you're like in this energy, you know. I think you're going to be able to move on. And, you know, it's like, I think maybe you've been ghosted before even. A lot of us have. So it's like being able to move on and just move on to the next thing, keep on searching for better horizons. But there will be a part of you here with the 5 of Cups where you will need to grieve. You know, it sucks when someone ghosts you, right? It sucks. It kills the fantasy. It kills the dream you had of what could have been. And it kind of kills the dream you had of a person too. Maybe you thought they were better than that. So I'm seeing like, let yourself grieve. Let yourself be sad about it. But ultimately, I do see you moving on. I see you really with the 10 of Swords. I know this looks like a foreboding card, but it really just means like the end of something, like it's fully done and dusted. I don't see you going back. I don't see, you know, who knows, in like a month or two or whatever, they might grow a conscience, quote unquote, and like decide to be like, oh, hi, what, you know, how are you? Or they might like get bored and decide to message you, which is probably more likely because people are crazy like that sometimes. But I see you being like, no, the door is closed. The Queen of Wands is you stepping into your power and creativity and magic. And you're just going to end up using this experience as like fuel for your own fire. Once you let yourself grieve and be sad over it. Now, I want to just get maybe a little bit more clarification on why they ghosted. I mean, I know we know that there's some shadiness happening up here and some issues with power, but wow. Interesting. Okay. So, I've got to like hide this card because YouTube. All right. Okay. So we have the 6 of Pentacles reverse, which is like holding power over somebody. There's a power dynamic here that I don't like for you. And maybe you sensed it, High Priestess. This is like the kind of energy where someone will like be like, oh, I'll pay for dinner. And you're like, okay, are you sure? And they're like, yes. And then, but then they feel like you owe them something after that. You know, it's not without strings. And again, we're going back to the control theme. The star is reversed. I had to cover it up for YouTube, but the star is reversed here. And the star, when it's upright, is about like renewal and replenishment. And because it's reversed, I just feel like you would be drained by this person, honestly. It could also mean that they are drained or something in their lives, but that's not an excuse for ghosting. So, but I don't see, you know, I think that you would end up doing a lot of the emotional heavy lifting in this relationship. Knight of Wands, you know, this person who ghosted you might have come on strong, and they might have really actually believed what they were doing or saying they wanted at the time. But this person, I see, just like does that. And I see this card, this 4 of Wands here, like that's like the marriage and like family, happy family card. I think it's like, I honestly, I'm just intuitively getting that like they think they want this. They think they want stability. They think they want the long term. They think that, but they're not actually ready for it. And that's almost worse than someone who like knows that they're not ready for it, because they kind of get you trapped in the cycle as well. And it's not cool. But a lot of people don't like do the work to like know themselves very well. So hopefully that sheds some light. I don't think you would have been happy. I think that they might, you know, this person might also just like to do that thing where they're like, oh yeah, I want like a long-term serious relationship. I want marriage. I want kids, whatever it is. I want the white picket fence. But they just do that as like again, maybe a way of maintaining control. But also I think it gets good responses from people because that's what some people are also looking for. And they might at times believe it themselves too, but they do not have the equipment, like the emotional basic equipment to really back it up. So it's all really for nothing. I see you really moving on from this. I'm going to pull a couple of cards from my composition oracle deck, which I did a recent unboxing. I just got this deck. I did a recent unboxing and like kind of review, first impressions. I really like this deck, spoilers. If you're a writer like I am, you will just have a little soft spot in your heart for these composition looking cards. So like the composition books we had in school, or you might still use. I still use mine. So I'm going to pull a couple cards for you from this deck to clarify for you. Ooh, lost reversed. Wow. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. We have lost reversed, and we have cooperation reversed. So this cool deck comes with a little insert that explains kind of what each card means, and it gives everything for the reversals too. It gives all the information. So lost reversed is isolate, regret, miss. And I can't help but see that it's come up like around the Five of Cups that you have down here at the bottom here, which is like, I think it's saying, yeah, like you're going to have some sadness. And I don't think you should fight it. I don't think you should be like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. Let yourself feel it. You know what they say, what you resist persists, right? And so you have to feel to heal, all these silly rhymes, but it's so true. Like, don't judge yourself. Just like, let yourself be sad about it. Let yourself cry about it. Let yourself write about it. You know, whatever you need to express it. Obviously, stay legal. But yeah, like I see that coming up for you. It's okay. It's all a part of this. And then we have cooperation reversed, which is like compromise. There's compromise and help. Interesting. Well, I think that this is also speaking to like this whole thing with the star reverse, where it's like, yeah, I really don't think this person had the emotional bandwidth or just capabilities to meet you where you want to be. I mean, obviously, if they ghosted you, they don't. But I think this is confirmation of that. So, yeah, I think you're looking for a more cooperative, collaborative experience with somebody, and this person wanted to believe that they could, thought that they could, in some moments felt that they could, but they don't have the skills. So that's the way the cookie crumbles, and it's better that you know now. I'm sure you hear that all the time, but it's better that you know now as opposed to later when you've invested more time and energy. That would be sad. Finally, I'm going to pull a card from the Mermaids and Dolphins deck. I'll let you see that again. Isn't it so pretty? I like to wrap up with that. I know that these readings are kind of quick, but I figure you guys just want to get your info and you want to go. And I like to wrap up a reading with one of these cards. So let's pull one for y'all. Accept heaven's help. Okay. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. Yes. I like that card for you, man. I think that's really good. I think, you know, with dating, and I'm going to read the description from the little booklet that comes with it. But with dating and getting ghosted as part of dating, it's pain in the butt, but it's like, it does give you kind of skills and practice in that whole thing of like, you can't control everything. You can't control everybody. And there are things that are outside of your power, and like learning how to make peace with that instead of trying to control every outcome. Not that you're like a control freak, but like, it's interesting because control comes up in this with the other person. And I don't know if like, you know, sometimes we tend to attract people that like have qualities that belong to our shadows. And maybe you have a controlling side that, controlling is such a loaded word, but controlling in the sense of like, you want to make sure outcomes happen a certain way that you envision. I'm the same way, you know, I think we all are, but experiences in life like dating and stuff like that will show us that, you know, we can't control it all, even if we want to, even if we try, even if our intentions are in a good place. And it's okay. It says you've prayed for help, so get out of the way. Sometimes we're doing too much. And I'll just read this out for you. You've asked, what should I do next? This card responds, trust that your prayers have been heard and answered. Simply rest and retreat for now. After all, you prayed for divine intervention, so step aside and let heaven intervene, as this is the help you prayed for. You can assist the process initiated by your own prayers through quiet contemplation. Ask heaven to give you very clear, easily understandable guidance, letting you know if you need to take any action. In the meantime, enjoy knowing your angels and guides surround you and your situation with love and care. Well, I think that that's a really good message for you to end on. You know, like they say, I'm going to rhyme again, rejection is redirection. And I think there's something better waiting for you right around the corner. Let yourself grieve, let yourself be sad. But ultimately, I do think you are going to come back better than ever. And you're going to find somebody and some kind of relationship that fulfills you. And you shouldn't settle for less. All right. So I hope that was helpful for you, pile number 1. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. The questions for today is, why did they ghost? What was up with that? You're probably looking for answers because that's what ghosting does to a person, or getting ghosted does to a person. So hopefully I can shed a little light and leave you guys feeling a little more empowered. You guys deserve it. Ghosting sucks. Don't do it. Don't tolerate it. Definitely. You guys deserve better than ghosting. I'm saying this to all my piles. So let's get started with understanding why it happened and understanding your path forward as we move along. So here we go. Look at these. All right, I'll start here. Oh. Okay, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we have, as you can see here, the 2 of Cups reversed, which is like a disconnection, like literally 2 people being disconnected. For some of you, I think there might have been some kind of conflict or something leading up to the ghosting, possibly. Like an argument or something you didn't like or something they didn't like. And it seems to be a part of the reason why this happened. Not that it excuses it. And then we have the 7 of Wands reversed, which is like the opposite of a underdog. It's like someone being powerful. You know, it's weird. I feel like for some of you, it's like that you are intimidating, and not that that's a problem. Like you're intimidating because you're cool and you're magical. Some people aren't going to like that though. They can't handle it. It's giving me like these vibes of like, you know how people are like, I want a strong woman or man or whatever it is, but then like they can't handle this. And it's funny because the Knight of Wands came up in the last reading for pile number 1 also, which is like someone who thinks that they can like go do something and be like, yeah, I could do that. Like, for example, I could have a serious relationship, and they might really believe it in the moment, but they're not actually equipped. And it's funny that it's showing up in this reading as well, because I think there's a lot of people out there like that who have overestimated their readiness or their abilities when it comes to meaningful relationships. There's a lot of people out there like that. A lot of people don't know themselves and understand their limitations. So I'm getting a lot of that energy, and I'm getting a little bit of threatened by you or intimidated by you, but not because you're bad. It's interesting here we have like the Knight of Pentacles, which is like, I kind of feel like that's what you're offering, which is like a steady, I think you're, you know, some of you at least might be looking for something like steady, committed, follow through, and this energy is not that over here on these 3 cards. So yeah, I mean, it's good that you have like Knight of Pentacles energy. Not everyone shares that, or at least this person probably doesn't if they ghosted you. So F that, man. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Wow. Just make sure you guys can see that. Okay, great. Oh, I have to cover it up. Sorry for the YouTube. I have to cover something up really fast. Okay, so interesting. Telling more of the story. We have the 10 of Pentacles reversed, and when it's upright, the 10 of Pentacles is like a legacy card. Like, look what I've created. Happy life, or I've helped other people. This is like a tarnished legacy, or like not fulfilling something. And then the World, though, interestingly, is like, it's like whenever you see the World, you should like throw confetti because it's done. It's like the end, end of the story. And like, it's like the cycle is complete. In fact, these 2 cards I feel like have similar energy, but the fact that this one is reversed, like, well, I can tell you're like really bothered, and I don't blame you by being ghosted. Who wouldn't be? Because it's like, yeah, like, what am I gonna do for my closure now? I'm getting like something like, dude, that's not cool. Like, you know, and it's not. Like, what am I supposed to do now? You just left me hanging, and it's not cool. I agree with that. And but then over here we have the 7 of Cups, which is like, dare to dream. I think the 7 of Cups is really interesting. I get that this is kind of like, I think there's a message in the 7 of Cups for you, and I also think it's like a reflection on maybe how they're feeling. I think that this person gets like distracted by shiny new objects. It's almost like the type of person who just gets taken for a ride by their imagination. Because with the 7 of Cups, it's like, ooh, look at all these options I have. Now, not all of them are real, is the thing. But that person doesn't know this. And they might have been like maybe blowing some smoke up your butt a little bit. You know, just like this being paired with the Knight of Wands reversed and everything, like, oh, you know, well, there's so many other people out there, and I think that they are good at like convincing themselves, like, oh, well, if it wasn't meant to be, or, you know, people leave stuff that they care about, or I'm gonna go chase the next shiny new object. And I think that's a part of what happened, possibly. And I know that's really annoying. And it's like, I know this is like a lizard or something, I forget it, iguana, lizard, but to me, it's looking like snakish to me. Actually, there's a real snake here. I'm just like, ew, that's like grow up energy for them, not you. I see you, like, yeah, like, first of all, I feel like this is you being like, I do want to build something real and lasting. For them, I feel like they need to work on a lot of stuff because clearly they got issues. And I don't want anyone to be upset when I say this, but I feel like they aren't the kind of person who allows themselves to feel too bad for too long about what they did, because they're already chasing the next thing. And, you know, just to say, I've been with people like this, or I've definitely been with at least one person like this, and it's like not cool, obviously, but there are people out there like that who just run to the next rush, the next fire, the next spark. And maybe they convince themselves, well, this, you know, next time I'm gonna get it. And I feel like I'm getting like this kind of thing with them where they're just like, well, it's the person I'm with who has to inspire me to be better. It's like, please, like, okay, like that ever works. It's down to you. And that's, you know, there's a lot of people out there who think that they are ready for things that they are not ready for, or think that they are more equipped than they actually are. That's not your fault. I don't like this person's energy. I think it's obvious. I think they fumbled you, honestly, but that doesn't mean that you should ever take them back. Like, if they fumble now, they're gonna fumble again. And so, yeah, let's pull some more cards, just like, Let me just get a little bit more of information. Page of Swords. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Page of Swords. Like, this is not easy for you. Maybe you've been here before. A lot of us have been here before. The times, or not the times, the landscape of life that you're living in has shifted, and you're just trying to stay abreast of all the changes and to stay strong, and there's a part of you that wants to reach out and tell them how you feel, which is like, it's a little petty part with the Five of Swords. Like, I'm gonna tell them all about themselves. Now you can, I mean, you could let your emotions out, Queen of Cups, you could let your emotions out. And you could kind of just like tell them all about themselves. But I think that it would be a bit of a distraction from the task that is really at hand for you, which is like, I have to go and I have to deal with my life and I have to recalibrate and I have to heal and feel my feelings, like all the not fun, unsexy stuff that you have to do when something like this happens to you. And the Eight of Swords reverse is kind of like, you're on the brink of a breakthrough, but it's like, I know what I should do, like doing the right thing, the mature thing, but I really also want to be petty. And I just want to bow to the divine in you for that. I understand wanting to be petty. And if someone ghosted you, I definitely understand wanting to be petty. However, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, honestly. I do think that you will mature emotionally from this experience. It's gonna suck, it does suck. But, you know, I think that's where you're at right now. And maybe that's an area for self-reflection for you. I'm gonna pull some Composition Oracle deck cards for you for this, which I like this deck. And so I'm gonna just pull two. Okay, we have Motivation reversed, and then we have Humble upright. Okay, so let's take a look. Motivation and Humble. But Motivation is reversed, as we see here. So, okay, let me read what Motivation reversed. It means dominate extreme. Okay, so yeah, I feel like you really want to go off on this person. Like, you want to, and I get it. You want to write a letter that tells them all about themselves, rip them a new one. And sometimes you want to go to extremes because you've been hurt, and I get that. Let's look at Humble though. Let's look at Humble. Humble is upright, and it means practical content. Now, that's the thing. It's like, I do think you're trying to balance these two kind of energies where you're like, should I just go off and just go a little wild, and just really let my feelings out, and I don't care who it hurts in the process? Or should I just, be the bigger person, take the high road, pack it up and go? And I don't think that these cards are saying yes or no in either direction. I think it's just like speaking to the fact that you're in that conflict right now, and it's okay to be in that conflict. But it's really not saying like, oh, do this, do that. But yeah, I get that. And I certainly understand why you would feel that way. We're gonna pull one from the Mermaids and Dolphins card next to wrap up your reading. Hopefully that will be a nice positive message for you. Oh, well, when it was like, well, okay, here's the thing. It says time to move on. It is time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. So this card is, in my opinion, speaking more towards the whole, like, just let it go. And I mean, not to say that you can't express your feelings. In fact, I think that you expressing your feelings is going to be instrumental in you being able to move on, but you don't maybe necessarily need to express it to that person. You could create a piece of art. You could write a letter that you rip up and never send. You could write a song that you, that you publish, but it's not like this is about so-and-so. I think I do think that maybe this is saying, yeah, don't get caught up with this person, because honestly I don't like their energy. I think you know that. I told you that. And so yeah, it's just kind of like, well, are you gonna get sucked back into their sphere, their orbit? Are you gonna get sucked back into a like sucky person's orbit and energy? I don't think you want that. You don't need that like on you. You don't need that energy on you. So yeah, let's read what this says. Time to move on. By drawing this card, you're alerted to the fact that you need to make room for the new by letting go of the old. Yes. First, let go emotionally and intellectually. In other words, quit or say goodbye in your mind and heart. Yeah, that's another thing. It could be like you do some kind of ritual, like cord cutting or burning something, you know, just some kind of ritual where you're like, this is done, or you like bury something in the ground to neutralize it. Safely, of course. Once you do this is reading from the book, the physical letting go will happen naturally in a peaceful and harmonious way. Ask heaven to help you make this transition, and don't plan, scheme, or worry about how your letting go or replacement will occur. Interesting that it focuses on replacement, because this is like definitely like there's big replacement energy, like, oh, on to the next thing on their part. So screw that. Put all your energy into prayer and faith and leave the rest up to infinite spirit. You'll get definite guidance whenever it's the right moment to take action. Until then, stay lovingly detached from your old situation. Well, that's a pretty straightforward message in my book. So I hope this reading was helpful for you, pile number 2. I think you deserve a lot better than being ghosted, and you're going to move on. And I can't wait to see the cool stuff that happens to you next. And hang in there. You're doing great. And if you like that, please like and subscribe to follow and get updated when I post again. Again, this is Fawn of the Forest. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is a reading for the question, answering the question, why did they ghost? Why did I get ghosted? And I've been saying this to all the piles today, but you do not deserve to be ghosted. So that person just told you who they are. And as the great Maya Angelou says, when people show you who they are, believe them. Ghosting is not cool. Don't do it. Don't tolerate it. That's what I say. But for a lot of us, and you know, we've all been there, can leave a lot of unanswered questions. So that's why I'm doing this reading for y'all today. I felt called to do a reading for people who got ghosted. So that's you. Here we are, and hopefully find some answers for you and get you to a place of feeling a little better, or at least on the path to feeling better about yourself and about the situation that you find yourself in. So we will begin with pulling 4 cards from the Rider-Waite Tarot. All right, let's see what we got. Oh boy, okay. Interesting assortment of cards here. Okay. I always have to look to see, do I have to cover anything up? Because YouTube doesn't like nudity, and there's a little nudity in these cards, but not on these cards. So, all right, so let's jump in. Temperance is reversed. Temperance is, when it's reversed, I think of it as impatience, trying to force things. Then we have the Queen of Cups, which is like I think it's your energy. And I think it's like, oh, interesting. I feel like some of you guys watching this, you were with somebody who wanted a certain type of relationship that you actually didn't want yourself, but you liked them so much, or you were so like hot for them that you were like, okay, I'll try. It's like, for example, just an example, like someone who's like, I don't want a traditional relationship, but you do. And they're like, I want an open relationship. And you're like, well, I don't want that, but I really want this person because they're amazing. And maybe I can convince them that, you know, this will work out. And because the Hierophant reversed, I think of it as like non-traditional. And not that there's anything wrong with non-traditional. Maybe you wanted something non-traditional and they wanted something traditional. Maybe vice versa. and it doesn't have to mean like actual tradition. It can just mean like you guys weren't aligned in terms of like what you were looking for, I feel like. But you, and I mean, it could be them, but I'm getting the sense that it's you tried to contort yourself into something that you thought that they would want, or you kind of had to submerge a part of who you were to make the relationship work. And that's all you wanted, was to make the relationship work. And maybe it did work for a little while. But I think you knew that you were selling yourself short, and that just, you felt on some level you were selling yourself short, which I don't like for you. Okay, we have Knight of Cups reverse. Oh, Page of Cups, yeah. Interesting. Okay. Wow. All right, these are very interesting cards. So we have the Knight of Cups reverse. So the Knight of Cups, when it's upright, it's kind of like Prince Charming, like, I'm here to make your dreams come true. Romantic dreams of beauty. Well, that didn't happen here. Like, and maybe that's what they like sold to you, and not, they don't have to be like a man or anything, but like this person maybe wanted to sell you that, and maybe thought that that's what you wanted, and maybe that is what you want, but it didn't happen, obviously, because it's reversed. And yeah, I see like unhappiness, disappointment, immaturity, Page of Cups. Like, yeah, like this person should have grown up already, but they didn't. A lot of people don't. Like very immature is what I'm getting. Almost like, wow, are we still in like 7th grade? No shade to 7th graders or anything, but you know what I mean? Like a 7th grade relationship or something where it's like, wow, that was like, you know, it's giving me like this idea of like how, like, when you're a girl, growing up and stuff like that, they're like, oh, that boy's just mean to you because he likes you. It's like, no, grow up. It's like, that's not cool. I also think that this person rushes in. Fools rush in. And maybe that's what you wanted. Maybe you wanted on some level something to kind of escalate quickly. Maybe you're the kind of person who doesn't really like to date so much as be in relationships. And so, you were kind of like, well, okay, well, yeah, all right, this feels a little fast maybe, or there's some aspect of it that was not comfortable for you, but you were willing to kind of let go of it or see if you could live without it, you know what I mean? And then we have the Nine of Swords reverse, which is like, that's like, I'm stressed out. I think you went through some stress with this relationship, and maybe for some of you, you're like, yeah, that's an understatement. I see though that this ghosting is like freeing you from that, even though like it's causing a different wave of stress, a different flavor of stress for you. I see it being like this person actually did free you, because you wouldn't have been happy with what they were offering. I don't see you being fulfilled. Like, you're the Queen of Cups. Like, yeah, I feel like this person got into your energy and like messed you up, and their energy is messed up. And you really wanted to give them a chance. You saw the potential in them, but they caused you a lot of anxiety. And them ghosting, in a way too, is like they freed you from having to keep worrying about this. Like, it's like those quotes on like Pinterest where they're like, this is how well I sleep knowing that there's no one cheating on me, or whatever. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, there is a certain level of relief coming to you from getting out of this situation. I think this person's impulsive and immature. Interesting. Okay. Balance. Whoops. This should go up here. Okay. New horizons. That's good. Yes. Coming out of the clouds, coming out of the fog. We could all stand to come out of the fog a little bit more. Okay. So we have the Justice card, which is like about balance. So you can see holding the weights here. Should be about balance. It can also mean some kind of legal contract of some kind, but like a marriage. And maybe for some of you, you guys are looking for like marriage or some kind of long-term relationship that is stable. And I think that with the Three of Wands, it's like you are ready. You're like, okay, and you've been doing some work to ready yourself for it. Um, I think this is more speaking to you. However, I don't think that this person was totally honest with you with just the moon card reversed. And I think you're coming out of the fog. I just don't think that this person, again, I feel like this person's very immature. I feel like it's not even like they like necessarily were like, I'm gonna lie to you. They were just, it's just that they can't be honest with themselves in a way. And you picked up on that energy too, and it threw you off. Um, yeah, I just think that your energy mixed with this person's energy, it like takes away from your energy and the goodness in it. So I'm really glad you got away from that. Um, and then we have the Four of Cups. Okay, interesting. Again, I feel like, okay, so it's the Four of Cups reversed, and like when it's upright, the Four of Cups is like boredom, dissatisfaction. Um, and then when it's reversed though, I see again, it's kind of like the Nine of Swords reversed. It's like you're coming out of that. There was something about this connection, this relationship that was not working for you. And it's almost like they were a little wacky in a sense and a little chaotic and definitely immature, but you were kind of like, I'm too evolved for this. I really don't want to keep dealing with this. Maybe they'll grow up, you know. Um, but I think that this can be your confirmation that I don't think they're going to be growing up anytime soon, basically. And you shouldn't have to wait around for that, you know. So I'm seeing that it's good that you got out of this. And now I'm going to pull a couple cards from the Composition Oracle deck, which I love so much. Let's pull a couple cards and get some words here to, ooh, okay. So dreams is reversed. Passing and dreams, both reversed. Dreams. Okay, let's just read what dreams, and this little insert, which is so helpful here. It even tells you what the reversals mean. Okay, so when dreams is reversed, it means delusion and dread. Well, that don't sound good. And then passing is reversed, which is attached setback. Delusion, dread, attached setback. Okay. Yeah, I dread, boom, Nine of Swords. Dread, setback. Yeah, I think that this was a good thing that this person kind of, you know what they say, like the trash takes itself out, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean, I'm really not, but like, obviously, like, this is a setback for you, and you got attached to an idea of what this could have been. And that's so human, that's so common, it's so human, and I have so much compassion for that. And I just think that you need a relationship where this dream card gets to be upright and you get to imagine and fantasize together with somebody and share the same dreams and help each other build dreams, and help each other grow. And with this person, I just see a lot of stuckness. I think that they were going to hold you back from your potential, and we don't have time for that. No, do we? We don't have time for that. So, yeah, hopefully that gives you a little more information. I think that's really, I keep seeing, okay, there's this play or something, it's an expression called like passing strange. And I don't know, but I keep hearing passing strange, and I don't know what it means. So if any of you know what passing strange is, I keep hearing that. I think it's the title of a play or something like that, but I like the title, but I don't know. When I see passing, I just want to say passing strange. So if you guys know what that is and want to tell me about it, you can. Oh, look. Oh, interesting. Okay. Wow, that's weird, because passing strange I think of as like, there is music in that play, I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm going to have to look this up afterwards, but I'm seeing like a Broadway musical or a Broadway play with musical elements in it. And what do we know? Music got manifested. Music for manifesting. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. Now, as we all probably know by now, music is healing. Music is magic. Music, it can be absolutely used for manifesting. It can give you goosebumps. And I see music playing an important role for you in healing from this and in dreaming again after this happening. And it could be like you just listen to a bunch of music, you make a new playlist, or maybe you like to write music or play music or something like that. I see you expressing yourself and processing through using music. And I will read what the little booklet says for, oh, just flip right to the page. Okay. So it says here, music is a powerful ally on your spiritual path as it serves to boost your manifestation powers. Music is part of the invisible realm, and it is of a higher frequency than that of the physical plane. It wraps us in a protective shield to guard us from negative energies. It also lifts our emotions and thoughts to joyful levels. Yes, it does. By drawing this card, you're urged to play any type of music that suits your mood as often as possible. Move your body to the music and breathe in deeply as you listen to it, drawing in the energy of each note. Use music as a manifestation tool. First, sit quietly and think of your desire. Imagine that your dream has already come true and feel that reality in your stomach as warmth, peace, excitement, or security. Feel gratitude in your heart. As you enjoy these feelings, begin to chant, hum, or sing. This self-made music sends your manifestation into the ethers where it coagulates into tangible reality. Well, that sounds really good. And you know, a particular song popped into my head when I was just reading that, and it's by the late great Jimmy Buffett. It's like a deep cut, like it's not like Margaritaville, but he has this song that is called "Breathe In, Breathe Out, Move On," and I really like that song. And he performs it live in somewhere, and he says when he's like introing the song, he's like, "This is how we get through anything in life. Breathe in, breathe out, move on." And music is a great way. Music, like, yeah, when you're singing or humming, like, yeah, you are breathing. And you're also like letting yourself feel and dream. So I do see you getting past this, and I think you dodged a bullet. What can I say? But I'm excited for you. I think you have some really positive things coming your way. Try not to take it personally. It's more of a reflection on them than on you. And you're holding out for the right person who's going to see your magic and want to just go for the gold with it. So I hope that reading was helpful. If you like that, please like and subscribe so you can see my future readings. I'm a new channel, so I'm just getting started. And it's been a pleasure reading for you today. I'm wishing you all the best, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye.